Welcome back to Center Stage, everybody. We are here with Emeril Lagasse. So you opened the restaurant Emeril's, and then you opened NOLA, which is short for New Orleans, Louisiana.
Correct.
See? Did my homework.
I love it.
And then somehow...
And I'm going to be known now as the guy that got you to eat a panini.
You are.
With chili mayonnaise.
Now, you end up getting to the Food Network. How does that happen? How do they know about you?
I have two restaurants at the time. I have Emeril's and I have NOLA. I got a phone call from, it was actually a production company based here in New York, but they were actually shooting a lot of production stuff in Nashville. And I get a call, and story short, and he says, you know, would you like to come shoot a pilot? We'd like you to shoot a pilot. There's going to be a network that's going to start 24 hours a day about food and travel and wine and all that stuff. I'm like, 24-hour network on food? You got to be kidding me. I didn't even know what a pilot was. I thought it flew an airplane. So I went to Nashville, and I did this pilot show.
Was the pilot for the How to Boil Water?
Yeah, How to Boil Water. Have you ever seen clips of that
No.
thing? Good. Keep it that way. We'll be friends. We knew it was going to be hard on my schedule, but it would be a good thing for, of course, for the restaurant and for the industry. Mm-hmm. So we did it. And after about 65 shows, I get a call from the president. Didn't know anything about food, but a smart guy. He calls me and says, I got good news and I got bad news. Okay, give me the good news. Good news is we think you should do more television because you're a good teacher. Thank you, sir, thank you. Bad news is you're fired because you're overqualified for How to Boil Water. I'm like, is this guy for real or what? So that goes, I did another crazy show, Emeril and Friends. Don't even go there. Because I had no friends, I can tell you that.
What were you doing wrong on these shows?
Oh, I wasn't a TV guy. I was a cook. You know, I bent over, I'm chopping, you know, I'm looking at my head, you know, it just... and then finally, you know, I got a little schooled, and he said, come to New York. You got to come to New York and we'll talk. And so I go to his office on 6th Avenue, and he says, we really want you to shoot television, do more television. What can we do? We stood in the office for, like, you know, literally 24 hours brainstorming. Finally, we just said, well, why don't you do the essence of Emeril? It's the essence of you. Why don't you just do the essence of Emeril? You're American schooled, you're classically trained, you're in New Orleans. Why don't you do that? And so that's how the essence of Emeril. And then I want to say we did 13, 14 seasons. And then Emeril Live came because I was really going to quit. I was just tired of it. And then they said, no, please don't leave. And I said, well, I want to do a live format, you know. I think there's room for a live show, and maybe with a band. I have music experience, you know. I could maybe, you know, blow a few notes here and there, you know, cook, you know, and have musical guests. I mean, you know, how many shows you need, you know, with them talking about their movie that just came out, you know what I mean? So, hey, we're all trying to make a living. So, you know, Emeril Live was then born. Went 10 seasons with Emeril Live. Who would have thought? That's like Seinfeld.
Now, is it true that, like, in the first couple of shows that failed, that you were making $50 a show?
It's really true.
Wow.
That's what I was getting paid, $50 a show. Yeah,
you don't even have that in your ashtray now.
Yeah. Let me tell you, $50 a show. I schlepped my own food. You know, there's no like budgets for that stuff and all that. Brought my own coffee and stayed in like a comfort inn. You know, one of the, maybe not even that, but
Motel
it was
6?
on that thing, something like that. Okay. You know, they left the light on. I know that.
Now, let's talk about BAM. Where did BAM come from?
Truly?
Yeah.
Being a food show, you do 3, 4 shows, and then you'd break, and you break the crew for lunch. So, you know, we got all this food. What are we going to do with it? Eat it, you know? So, you know, there was no audience. So there was a stage manager and camera people. Basically, that's it.
Right.
And BAM came about for waking people up, because it was the crew. If I didn't wake them up, I mean, they were like going to sleep on me. I'm like, hello, I'm over here alone here. Is anybody with me? BAM! Bam, bam, ba-bam, like that. Ba-bam, like that. Take one more pinch of spice and just go bam, just like that. Yeah.
And it worked.
And that's it.
All right, how about kick it up a notch?
Kick it up a notch. I always kicked it up a notch, and that was my expression for elevating the level of salt or pepper or seasoning or hot sauce. So I always kicked it up a notch.
How about Oh Yeah Baby and Feel the Love?
Oh yeah, babe. You know, those are just things that's just sort of, you know, as you start doing television, you know, I mean, that was my expression. I wanted to do something really good and thought it looked good, and I knew it tasted good. It was like, oh, yeah, babe, you know, just kind of, you know, just...
Now, the Food Network, you said at the beginning, well, 24-hour food. When did you think, this is going to work? And do you think it helped the food business?
No question about that it helped the food business in our industry. I was a part of the Food Network, from the start. Mm-hmm. So I was there, and I was a part of when they hit 1 million homes, and I was a part of when they hit 90 million homes in 13 countries. So
wow.
I'm still have a great relationship. I don't have an active show. I still have my shows on the air. Mm-hmm. I've been a little busy the last year. I don't know if you know this lady by the name of Martha Stewart, but her and I are partners. We sort of merged together last year. So she's been keeping me a little busy. I had this opportunity. A gentleman that I used to work for years ago at NBC took over this little network called Discovery, and he started a new channel almost 2 years ago now called Planet Green. And so he wanted a show somewhat green. So I thought it would be a cool fit. I like him, and I like Discovery, and I like the people there. And they sort of gave me a blank palette to sort of, find this show and do this show. So this new show, Emeril Green, takes place in a 60,000 square foot Whole Food Market in Virginia, right outside of D.C. And basically people have a challenge, and they either write in or they email in and say, hey, Emeril, maybe it's a dietary challenge or, celiac disease, or maybe they don't know how to cook fish, or maybe they've never had a condiment.
Right.
And then
you can do a whole show on
right,
me.
Exactly. I mean, you're there. It's done.
Now, Bobby Flay's a Yankee fan, and you're a Red Sox fan. Do you guys hate each other because of that?
I'm not a total. Listen, the Yankee thing's working into me.
Really?
Okay.
Your son will make it happen.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're hoping for that.
Absolutely.
Too. You can't wait.
More with Emeril when we return.
I have a Yankee jacket.
Well, you should have put it on.